Oh my God, what the hell is this? He's gonna try it! And will this be enough? My God,
What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Long time no see. We were just here Saturday. You get us again today on per usual time. It is Ruckus Wrastlin. I am Josh Mabry alongside my tag team partner in this journey, Justin Toner. How are we doing today?
I guess I'll use one word to sum up how I'm feeling after the Rumble. Yeet.
Yeet. Yeah. Yes, to the shock of everyone, Jey Uso is your 2025 Royal Rumble champion. If you didn't watch our watch along, I'd say go to about the 4-hour, 29-minute mark and watch cinema happen between our reactions. I looked pissed off and then immediately jumped for joy, and Justin's reaction was great. He was hanging. His reaction was he was on pins and needles the whole time because I went back. Oh God. So yes, but we will get into that review first. Let's go over a couple of nuggets here for the audience as far as news is concerned. Unfortunately, we would learn earlier in January, former Chase U member Duke Hudson was released off his contract. I think he's 35 at the age of 35.
Yeah, he's in the 30s.
It stinks because ever since I kind of got into NXT, I said Duke Hudson should get a singles run. He really shouldn't be in Chase U anymore. I think they should really try him on singles. They never did it. They broke up Chase U, and I guess they just never saw him make that next progression. That happens sometimes. The good news is there's a lot of other places you can go. And still do well, because the wrestling industry right now as a whole is as big as it's ever been, not just nationally, but worldwide. But you still hate it because it wasn't like anything that I saw from Duke as a talent that he did. But I did dislike the fact that you broke them up to put a guy that I didn't feel like should be in the main event picture just to lose the main event, and then you end up getting released from it. As far as getting in the weeds, I don't know if the writing was on the wall with Duke or what was going on with that. But it stinks. You never like when someone loses their job, especially probably their dream job as far as in this industry of working for WWE, especially now under this new regime. But Justin, your thoughts on
that? This is unfortunate news. I saw a lot. I thought Duke Hudson had a lot of potential too.
I did too.
And so I feel bad for him. Obviously, Sean and them didn't really felt that he progressed to the point that they wanted to keep him around. And so, yeah, it's really unusual. You usually hear like cuts. It's like a couple, but in this kind of situation, it was just him, apparently. I haven't watched the video where he basically like interviewed himself. I
haven't either. I saw it though.
People were saying it was very well done. It wasn't like he didn't like bash WWE or anything. It was more just like kind of like, all right, I'm going to pick myself up and I'm going to keep working hard kind of thing. It's like, and in that kind of situation, what you got to do. I mean, talked about before, there's a lot of people who got cut by WWE and they went out and made a name for themselves and found their way back and had success. I mean, it's like that's what happened with Drew McIntyre. Cody did the same thing. It's like, so this is opportunity to go out and continue to improve and prove WWE wrong. So I wish him the best of luck. It's unfortunate. I also heard scuttlebutt that because I'm wondering like where he and the rest of Chase U people have been since Andre Chase lost the match against Ridge that caused Chase U to be disbanded. Because like going like, where's Thea Hale? And it's like, well, they're still there. I'm hearing word that Thea got injured, which would explain why she wasn't wrestling a lot during that whole start of the storyline.
Okay.
I mean, because like, did you notice how like it's like she wasn't she was more about like outside the ring and reacting to what Ridge was doing, and she wasn't like doing any matches. So
Yeah,
I think she's injured. I think from now looking back, I'm like, okay, you know what, that makes sense because it's like there was a time there where like she wasn't wrestling any matches for a bit. It was more about what was going on with Ridge trying to destroy Chase U, kind of thing. So that kind of makes sense about like where she's been. So they probably used this as a way to have her off TV for a while so she can finish healing up. Hopefully she'll be back soon because a lot of us here are fans of Thea Hill and her work. So, it's like hopefully she'll be back on TV sometime soon.
I think Thea is way too much of a talent for them to also stop with her as well. She oozes.
That's why I'm like when I heard that, because like I'm like, well, where is she? And like when I heard, it's like I heard word that she's injured. I'm like, okay, now that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, and they might repackage her too.
Yeah, kind of like this is a chance for her to build rebuild herself character wise and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's Eudaimonia.
yeah. That was just posted. I posted on her.
Giff has been on the Thea train for a while too.
Yeah,
like he's a fan of hers.
Thea is. Yeah, I mean her match with Roxanne. If you don't think awesome. She has potential, and much less her personality, and she's so young.
Yeah,
she's
young too. She's like around Roxanne's age. She just hit her 20s.
Right.
So she's young.
Yeah, she's young.
So they really, I'm hopeful that she's going to continue to, because it feels like Sean and them definitely see something in her, and it's like she's got so much potential. It's like,
obviously Andre Chase isn't going anywhere, but who's the other one?
Riley Osborne was the other one.
Okay,
we'll see what happens to him whenever they bring him back to TV. Because he's also been absent since the whole thing happened. So
the rumor is he's not one of the four that were silhouetted at the end of the NXT episode. So
yeah, we're going to talk about that because because people immediately did some digging and it looks like they figured out like the young talent that apparently is this new faction that was teased at the end of this week's episode.
And I'm going to get my notebook and I'm going to sit there and take notes of who these people are that you're going to tell me about.
Yeah,
because when you posted that on our Discord, I was like, okay, got some research to do because I do not know of these people. So,
I posted their names so I can be able to pull them up when we get to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, good. Wish him all the best. Hopefully he can dust himself off and go out and do well.
Yeah, because if anything we've seen is just because they let you go doesn't mean they won't bring you back. I mean, Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes now Cody left on his own, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, Drew's the bigger story in that of you get released, work your tail off, come back.
Names in our private chat here. That way I'll have them handy. But anyway, keep going.
Yeah. And so it just all best of luck to Duke. We are pulling for you. I was surprised on that because I thought, heck, I kind of liked him. I kind of liked him more than Ridge, but Ridge has shown decent on the mic, but still, I'm just not bought into Ridge. It's just from a personal experience. No ill will to the person. I just don't think him as a character is working very well. Moving on to people, obviously Duke has left the WWE, not his own accord, but some people, as far as injury-wise, that are set to return. Tyler Bate, your boy, just got cleared recently. Big strong boy. Just got cleared. I wonder what's going to go on with that Pete Dunne situation with that.
Yeah, because they were tag teaming when Tyler got hurt, so is to see if they go back to that or they got maybe some singles plans for him. I think the singles plans would be the better way to go because need some more people in that mid card for the in the IC title hunt with Braun. Because they're definitely the Sheamus eventually when the title is still in play. They teased Penta and Braun having a match.
Teased AJ and Braun.
Yep.
So we'll get to that with the Raw stuff. But yeah, I'm just interested to see where Tyler goes from here. Since, I mean, obviously Pete just couldn't sit around and wait for him to come back. He's too much of a talent. They're going to use him.
The mid card is going to get really good once we have both Tyler Bate and Ilya Dragunov back.
Let's say Ilya.
We're going to have some more banger matches in the mid card on Raw.
Oh, yeah, Ilya, Penta, Tyler. Yeah, for sure.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. And then also Dakota Kai. We at first when we heard she was injured, we were like, "Oh no, not again." It's still a concussion is nothing to bat an eye at or anything of that nature. Obviously, we saw how bad it got with Adam Cole, how bad it got with Daniel Bryan. So these are things that not to be taken lightly. But we were thinking that it was, another 6-7 months shoulder, knee, those type of things.
Something a little more long term. But thankfully, it sounds like she's gonna look like she should be cleared in the next back in action sometime this month. They're just taking it easy, and which is understandable. I mean, this is like her first major concussion in her wrestling career, so I appreciate them taking precaution to make sure that she's fully okay before they clear her to get back in the ring.
And I think that was just, it wasn't. I think she took the bump correctly, and I thought Zoe did a wonderful.
It's just that her head, just like if you watch it, her head bangs off the mat, and you're just like, you're like, ooh, yeah. You see exactly where it happened.
Yeah, and I thought it was a wonderful spot.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it. I mean, we just like, wow, because this is Zoe in the ring. And I don't think it was, and we didn't hear any dirt sheets about any heat on Zoe for that. It was just a shit happens wrestling.
Yeah. It's not like she botched the move or anything. It's just that the way her head hit the mat that got her concussed.
And she almost botched it in the Royal Rumble, but man, did she make up for it. That was really smooth.
Yeah, and she tweeted out the fans giving her support. She, it's like while she recovers from the concussion.
Yes, GIF Rich. That's a good way to put it.
He is blind. That's the problem I have with him.
With that, last little nugget here before we get into SmackDown. Obviously, we had we had a bunch of returns as we would like at the Royal Rumble.
More with the women than the men.
More with the women. It was more of like surprises in the men than it was like of returns. Because we had Charlotte, Trish Stratus, and we had the main one that popped everyone, and I mean she got a pop. The return of Alexa Bliss after almost 2. I think it was 2 years or a little over 2 years.
Just about 2 years on the dot.
She came back, had the Lily doll. Had her jacket said Fiend Forever, but had like a white R and stuff to make friends forever, but still doing a nod to Bray Wyatt because she's on record as saying that's her most joyous time since she's been at the WWE was her doing that stuff with Bray and how grateful she was, and she's showing it there. And she's going to it'll be a new 5-year extension deal. The thing was that was supposed to be someone else's spot. I can't remember the wrestler off the top of my head.
I think the word is that they originally had planned Shotzi to be in the Rumble. But when they finally worked things out with Alexa just before late in the week, they switched it out. They switched it to have her be in the Rumble instead.
I always hate it for that happen,
and they had the merch ready because it's like to go and everything, so it made things easier. So there's conflicting reports on whether she's going to be on Raw or SmackDown. I'd rather not be involved in the Wyatt stuff. Have her go back on her own. I think Raw could use her.
The last report was she
was eliminated by Liv. So, that's an easy where she can try to get payback on Liv. It's like you always pay attention to who eliminates who in the Rumble because usually that's going to set up like feuds heading to Mania.
Yeah, unfortunately, we'll get into it. The women really didn't set up much. It was good. It was fun, but it didn't really set up a whole lot compared to the men.
Yeah.
With that, but no, it's always great to see Alexa Bliss back. There we go. Got that out. Yeah. But Aleister Black, who knows? We might get him soon. That. Yeah, a lot of people were expecting Aleister Black, and we're like, if you pay attention, he technically could not be there until closer to Mania. So, as far as his contract is concerned,
no one's sure exactly, but the speculation is that his contract will going to be over with completely, either by the end of this month or beginning of March.
Gotcha. All right. All right, so let's move on to SmackDown because we got a lot to cover today. So we were just keeping it a little short there for the news.
Yeah,
but we still just wanted to cover those
Yep.
type of things there for you all. And let's move on to Justin in the past, telling us about the past episode of SmackDown.
All right, here's a recap of what happened on last week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Last one before the Royal Rumble. Joe Tessitore was in the ring, taking review Kevin Owens ahead of his match against Cody Rhodes for the title, the ladder match at Royal Rumble. He was interrupted by CM Punk of all people. They had an exchange. Punk saying he's going to win the Rumble, telling him not to go too overconfident that he's going to go. Come out and say, Kale love the idea of Punk not being able to ever get the main event at WrestleMania, blah, blah, blah. Nick Aldis set up a match between Miz and Andrade for later in the show. Then we had Jimmy Uso versus Carmelo Hayes. Indiana Pacers NBA star Tyrese Halliburton was at ringside for the match. Jimmy Uso picked up the victory with a roll-up, along with, I think, a handful of tights. Then we had Women's United States Championship match. Chelsea Green once again defending against Michin. Michin looked like she had the match won, but Chelsea Green kept going to the outside. Eventually, Chelsea grabbed Michin's kendo stick and hit her with it to cause disqualification on purpose. So even though she lost the match, she's still the champion. Damian Priest came out to attack, talking about winning the Rumble, getting another shot at WrestleMania. Jacob Fatu Tam Tonga came out. They got into a brawl. LA Knight came out and made the save, and that set up a match between them for the main event. Motor City Machine Guns talked to Legado del Fantasma, Los Garza, trying to make sure they were on the same page. Then we had an 8-man tag, Pretty Deadly and DIY, WWE Tag Team Champions against Motor City Machine Guns, Los Garza. Los Garza and Motor Machine Guns had issues, and Los Garza walked out on them. But the heels lost because Ciampa accidentally hit Alta Prince in the face, and that allowed Chris Sabin to roll him up for the pin and the win. Tama Tonga was eyeing the tag team titles back, much to DIY's unhappiness, and they bitched Pretty Deadly about what happened. Pretty Deadly said that DIY was on their own tomorrow. They won't be giving them any help. McAfee and Cole talked to Tyrese Halliburton. Then we had Naomi taking on Liv Morgan in a one-on-one match. Naomi picked up a victory with a roll-up. The heels tried to beat down afterwards on her and Bianca. And Raquel powerbombed Liv on top of both of them. They had the Miz taking on Andrade. Andrade won the match. Santos Escobar offered Damian Priest a spot in Legado, but he says he wasn't interested. R-Truth popped up, thinking that they were on Raw. Typical R-Truth stuff. Tiffany Stratton and Zelina Vega ran into each other in the back. Zelina looked eyeing the title. Pat McAfee and Michael Cole were in the ring and interviewed Tiffany Stratton. Then Kayla Ray came out to interrupt. She went to Reg Nia Jax. She's going to be in the Rumble. Nia Jax came out to attack Stratton and laid her out. Then we had our main event match. Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu took on Damian Priest and LA Knight. Tama Tonga got caught with the South 11 choke slam, giving Damian Priest and LA Knight the victory. After the match, Jacob had to lay out Damian Priest to close out the show. So this all happened on the last SmackDown before the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So Jacob Fatu still good on the mic. That back and forth with Priest was great. You know, he was just like, "Don't get it." You know, your hair's all braided, but don't get it twisted.
He is, and I don't understand why they're having to lose it. This better lead to something.
It is because Jimmy used the tights.
Yeah.
So anytime that happens, and you get a roll up with the tights, yes, Jimmy gets the win because you can't just have Big Jim just job to everyone. You just can't. You can't do that. So it's better to have. I mean, hell, it's like I don't know what they're doing. Melo, look what he did with Andrade. Like you had a best of 7 on it. This ain't going to be a best of 7 or anything, but I don't think it really hurt Melo losing. And the way he did, it wasn't like a clean thing. It was he got his tights.
Yeah, it's making me wonder, just like what it's like. Come on, start giving him some wins, please.
Yeah. But yeah, that face off between Jacob and how he's off the leash and like all that stuff. I really enjoyed that. The CM Punk KO. I mean, them just staring at each other. I'm like, oh yeah, we haven't gotten this yet.
Yeah, no. That was a nice tease of a potential future feud. It'd be very interesting because, like Seth, Kevin Owens is not legit fond of CM Punk either. So,
No.
And no, it's not because of what happened with the Young Bucks and stuff. This goes way further back than that.
Yeah, I think it's more of our ROH stuff.
I think it goes back to their time, back to ROH.
Yeah.
I agree. They need to find to give Jimmy something in comparison to where Jay is. You know.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're always going to be connected because they're one of the greatest tag teams, arguably the greatest tag team in the modern era.
Right. They're going to be. The Usos are going to go down as a GOAT tag team, first ballot Hall of Famers.
Right.
So yeah, that was a nice tease. And looking back, there was a subtle foreshadowing of what was going to happen to Punk in the Rumble, where he dissed Kevin Owens about like, well, I haven't lost to Logan Paul. Who was the one who eliminated CM Punk from the Rumble?
Yeah. And then I did like how Punk was just like, someone said my name, so I appeared. Like giving a nod to the.
That was definitely a nod to Joe Hendry.
Yeah. Which Cass, for those people like, will people know? Yes, people know who the frick Joe Hendry is. Jesus. But overall, like I said, we're going to keep this kind of short because we really want to get into the Royal Rumble because we're spending more time on that. The problem that they're having right now, and this sounds weird, SmackDown's getting into a Chelsea Green problem as far as the mid card for the women are concerned, because she is just so much leaps and bounds better than everyone else on that mid card.
They haven't really built up anybody else.
No, I mean, look at her reaction compared to Lyra when they both showed each other in the crowd.
Yeah,
and it was just like, oh my God, it's Chelsea, and then hey, Lyra's here too. Like that was the kind of reaction that you had for your mid card title holders. And so it's getting to the point now. It's like Meechin comes out, and we like Meechin, but
she's getting no reaction.
She's getting no reaction. And then who else is going to go? And then Chelsea goes back. I mean, like the only thing leading to it is like, and we heard that Jordan Grace is going to be on NXT. I'm like, that would be a perfect first feud for Jordan Grace. Yes, it is a happy problem. That's what I'm saying. It's a first world problem that they have.
Right.
But it is an issue because Chelsea is doing so much better.
The problem is SmackDown going to 3 hours has definitely hurt it. It's definitely caused the show to drag. Feels like they have less, not saying less talent, but it seems like they got a smaller roster than Raw.
Yeah.
Because like at least while Raw was still 3 hours, it's like Triple H just find a way to be able to keep things interesting and not like oh my God, this show is like going on forever. Where it's like there's times where SmackDown feels like it's dragging right now. So I'm glad that the 3 hours is only a temporary thing, and eventually it's going to go back to 2 hours. It'll help make it a lot more tighter show.
Mm-hmm.
But the 3 hours it's had its ups and downs so far, and stretching out the 3 hours right now. But we got some people moved over from the transfer window, so we'll see how that works out.
And we did see where Apollo Crews is hurt now.
Yeah. Apparently he, I think it's a torn pec.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he's gonna be out for a while.
That's because, like, thinking about like you need talent, and it happens sometimes. I like the way they're building Liv and Raquel as a legit tag team.
They're really trying to build something with the women's tag division. They really are. Trying.
They are trying, and I like what they're doing, because it's like, where does Liv go from here? I don't know. She's got, like you said, like she is like, they're like the female version of Shawn and Kevin Nash from back in the 90s. Just kind of how they all kind of, their whole aura about each other are with Raquel and Liv, and I'm digging it.
The men tag was fine,
Yeah. It lacked Montez Ford, right, Giff? That's what. But yeah, no, the 8 tag team was fine. The Miz and Andrade was the most throwaway match you could ever have on a card.
Mm-hmm.
But
at least Andrade has a win. It's like
I didn't mind the tag team at the for the main event. You can still see where Damian Priest is still kind of a fish out of water right now. Kind of he comes across that way.
Yeah, well, we'll see where he's going to go on SmackDown.
Yeah, we'll see tomorrow where it starts to really build. But the highlights that stood out to me, obviously, the KO Punk standoff was good. The Jacob Priest segment was really good.
Yep.
And I like how people are kind of getting behind Tama a little bit more now. You can tell. With him going to the belts and just kind of looking at him and just staying.
Yeah, that's foreshadowing that him and Jacob might go back into the tag division because Tonga's out for another few months at least. So that was interesting tease. So
don't you put insult on that's Supermoon Solar Grand Champion.
Yeah, I know how DIY were like, what are you doing looking at? These are mine. These are ours. It's like,
right.
Not looking.
Yeah. And how Ciampa holds that, like you were noticing that when he was walking out, he holds it like he did the NXT champ.
Like Goldie, man.
Yeah, holding it like Goldie. Any other couple things you want to get to before we move on?
No, I think that's about it. That's pretty much all I remember or care about from SmackDown. So, yeah, let's get to the Rumble.
Yeah.
All right, here's a recap of WWE's Royal Rumble 2025 from Indianapolis, Indiana. Michael Cole, Pat McAfee, and Wade Barrett at the announce desk. Stephanie McMahon kicked off the show, and we started with the Women's Royal Rumble match. Io Sky drew number 1 and Liv Morgan number 2. Roxanne Perez came in at number 3. Other NXT talent that showed up during the match included Lash Legend at number 9. Let's see, Jada Parker came in as well. Stephanie McCurry showed up at number 24, and current NXT champion Julia came in at number 28. So a lot of NXT representation in this Women's Rumble match. The surprises where Jordan Grace came in at number 19, officially signed with WWE this time. Alexa Bliss returned at number 21. Trish Stratus came in at number 25, and Nikki Bella routed out the surprise entrance at number 30. Nia Jax ended up eliminating a lot of people in the end match, including Io Sky and Liv Morgan, who lasted from the beginning past number 30. After taking out Julia and Bayley and Nikki Bella were also eliminated. It was down to 3: Roxanne Perez, Nia Jax, and Charlotte Flair, who had returned at number 27. Together, Roxanne and Charlotte dumped Nia Jax, and after a brief fight, Charlotte booted Roxanne Perez off the apron to eliminate her and win the Women's Rumble match for the second time in their career, becoming the first woman to win the Women's Rumble multiple times. Roxanne Perez not only had the Iron Woman performance, but she also broke the record for the longest time in the Women's Rumble match, going 1 hour and 7 minutes plus. Congratulations to the Prodigy. Then we had WWE Tag Team title match, 2 out of 3 falls. DIY defending against Motor City Machine Guns. DIY won the first fall. Motor City Machine Guns won the second fall. Skull and Bones to tie things up. During the third fall, all of a sudden the Street Profits suddenly returned after being gone since being taken out by DIY weeks ago. Montez Ford distracted the ref, allowing Angelo Dawkins to whack Alex Shelley in the back with a crutch. That allowed DIY to hit him with meat in the middle to pin him and retain the titles. Street Profits then attacked and laid out DIY afterwards and posed with the titles to a pop. Then we had the WWE Championship on the line in a ladder match as Cody Rhodes defended against Kevin Owens. They brutalized each other with ladders, nasty spots. Nick Aldis, Sami Zayn, a bunch of officials came up to check on them after some of the more brutal stuff. They fought on the announce desk. Kevin Owens tried to package power drive Cody onto a ladder bridge between the ring and the desk, but Cody countered it, and Alabama slammed KO through the ladder, breaking it and Cody KO in half. And Cody was able to climb up and retrieve both title belts to retain the championship, as Sami Zayn tended to a completely messed up KO. Then we had the men's Royal Rumble match. Rey Mysterio came in at number 1, and Penta came in at number 2 to kick things off. Penta got the Iron Man performance, lasting over 40 minutes in the Rumble before getting eliminated. Surprises included ISHO Speed, ended up taking Kira Desire place after Carmelo Hayes took him out before he could even get in the match. Joe Hendry showed up at number 15 to a mega pop. Roman Reigns came out number 16 and cleaned house. Had the showdown with Jacob Fatu. He also eliminated Joe Hendry in the process. Both Ron Breaker and Jacob Fatu had a lot of eliminations. Got to look really strong. John Cena came in number 23, followed by CM Punk at number 24 and Seth Rollins number 25. Logan Paul came out last at number 30. After things got whittled down, it was down to 6. Seth and Roman went at each other and fought along the ropes, and I allowed CM Punk to dump both of them out of the match, but his victory didn't last long as Logan Paul snuck up behind CM Punk and dumped him. Seth attacked and stomped Roman twice on the outside and brawled with CM Punk, all pissed off. John Cena took care of Logan Paul, and it came down to Jey Uso versus John Cena as the final 2. They went back and forth. They fought on the apron, and after Cena tried to attitude adjust, Jey was able to slip out back into the ring and shoved Cena off the apron to the floor to win the Royal Rumble in a shocking upset. And he's going to go on to WrestleMania. So that's all that happened at this year's WWE Royal Rumble 2025. You're muted, buddy. You're muted.
I would have done this as a 5-star show, but Roxanne didn't win. So I got to give it like a 4.75.
Get out of here.
No, this was a great show, despite what the IWC is saying, like, oh, they shouldn't have done Jay and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, we'll get to the complaints about Jay. I understand the complaints about Charlotte, and I have those similar complaints. You know, we were hoping someone else besides Charlotte was going to win the Women's Rumble, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So
let's go over the tag team match real quick.
Yeah.
Like I told you, this match would cook if they gave him time. They didn't give him a whole lot of time.
They only gave him like 15 minutes.
They only gave him like 15
minutes. You wonder, like, what was the point of making it 2 out of 3 falls if you're only going to give him 15 minutes?
And the crowd was kind of dead, especially for that first spot. That first pin was cool as hell the way they did that.
Oh yeah, it was like DIY did like some chicanery and with a phantom tag to fool who Motor City Machine Guns and who the legal man was, and that allowed him to steal the first fall. I like that. It felt like it was starting to hit that next gear, and the fans were really getting to the match during the third fall, and then the Street Profits came out and we went to the finish. So
right.
If they'd given them at least like another like 5-10 minutes, like 20-25 minutes, I think we would have gotten like a really good match. But it was still a good match, but it could have been so much better if they had given more time. And they should have had more time, because it's like this was like end up being just over almost a 4.5 hour show. So it was just like they got to the short end of the stick. Good match, but a little disappointing with the time constraint they got.
And plus the whole like I get why the Street Profits came out and did that. But the thing is like they attacked, they basically helped DIY win, and then they attacked DIY. It's like, why don't you just attack all 4 of them and just make it a no contest? But you don't do that on pay-per-views. So you have to have it at least a winner.
Yeah.
In that regard. So I get it, but it's still a little overbooking for my taste for that. But if it leads into those 3 for WrestleMania ladder, cool. I don't, does not.
Yeah. Hopefully this leads to the Street Profits essentially winning the tag titles, because they haven't had the titles in years. So
4 years.
Yeah.
But
oh god, Cody and Kevin Owens did what we thought they would do. They fucking try to kill each other. Because
I thought I've seen it all in ladder matches, and then these two did it. And apparently KO was kind of the one behind a lot of these spots.
Not surprised.
Did. No. I mean, there were so many. I don't know how many times
Cody and KO are willing to put their bodies on the line for the fans. And
Mm-hmm.
do you think that's a good idea, bad idea? That either opinion is completely justified. But there was some. They came up with some some new and creative spots, like using the mini ladder as a weapon.
Yes,
I like that. Breaking off like the bottom rung and using it like as a bludgeoning weapon. Mm-hmm. I like that. Some really good innovative spots, and the finish was awesome. Where it's like it looks like he broke KO in half with that elbow.
It looked like he decapitated KO.
Yeah, and the way that KO was just kind of like acting like he was like completely knocked the fuck out, and like it was and plus he juiced it a little bit. Triple H let him add a little color to the match, which was nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like for a WWE ladder match.
Yeah, exactly.
This is typically like a GCW or maybe ROH style ladder match that you would get.
When we were watching the show, I was kind of like, okay, Sammy's out here, but he's not doing anything. But now I get
it now.
Him not doing anything was the point.
Yes.
Because Kevin had been subtly pushing him to like, yo, help me out in this ladder match, help me win. And he came out and he didn't do anything to help him.
Yep.
And he stood by and allowed, Cody to do that to him. And then Cody won the match. So what happened on Raw didn't surprise me.
No, it was a great swerve though. So that's the first time in a while. We'll get into Raw, but that's the first time in a while I remember a swerve like that. But no, that was just KO and Cody killed it.
Yeah, they did.
It was weird seeing like Sammy like looking up and then Cody was like, "Fuck you, Kevin! I got both of them," just like on the desk. And he's got that tinge of in like his past matches. He did the crossroads on the chair to win the match. This one he went a little heelish on his brutality and like stood over him.
I like
that's
that.
Not a very babyface type of thing.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, so I'm liking the way they because it put more grit to Cody.
So let's go to the Rumble matches. I guess we want to go. Let's talk about the women's first because that's opened the show.
Yeah. So obviously I still enjoy.
I like that Gift put this well here. And because they got these opportunities, unfortunately, because there was injuries. Like 3 out of the 4 members of Damage Control are out injured. Dakota's got a concussion. Kyrie had an elbow injury. She's out. We don't know how long. and Asuka's been out for months with a knee injury. We don't know when she's going to be back. So that's 3 spots that normally would have been filled that were empty. And they decided not to bring certain people back. Becky not coming back. I thought she might come back, but in hindsight, now it makes more sense because Alexa's return was great. But then if you had Becky also come back at number 30, that kind of maybe would have overshadowed Alexa's return a little bit. And plus also Charlotte winning, it's so I think maybe Becky was kind of let's not have me come back in the Rumble. Let me return on Raw on the way to WrestleMania as a big surprise. Right. And plus Alexa got a great reaction for her return. So did Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus and Nikki Bella both got pretty good pops as well for they were the other 2 big surprises. But back to the NXT women. So I wasn't sure I knew we were going to get some, but I was impressed how much NXT representation was in this Rumble match, but who they chose. So Lash Legend, not surprised. They've been high on her for a while with the metaphor stuff and the tag work. So I was not surprised. Jada Parker was the nice surprise. That shows me how high they think of her, that they put her into the Rumble. She didn't get to spend a lot of time in there, but she got to be in there for a little bit, got to do some stuff. Got taken out by Jordan Grace. It's having both Stephanie and Julia. Julia I wasn't sure about because I was like, are they going to have the NXT champion going to Rumble? But I'm glad they did because both her and Stephanie are. You could tell, they know that they're their future.
Yeah, they had that nice face off too.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a second. So, Stephanie got a nice pop from the crowd. I think more of the main roster people are aware of who Stephanie is because of her brief time in AEW when she fought Mercedes. So they're a little bit more familiar with her than Julia because Julia got a smaller reaction, which is understandable because a lot of the main roster audience probably isn't too familiar with Japanese wrestling. So, so I was more happy. I was not surprised that Stephanie got a good reaction, so which was nice. Then we'll talk about the final NXT person, the Prodigy, Roxanne Perez, in a second. But there was that very deliberate moment near the end of the match where after Julia took out Jordan Grace and she turned around and Stephanie and her had a little stare down, and you thought, are they gonna throw down? But then they're like, you know what? I think it was a nice moment for them where they're like we're in the Royal Rumble here. We're in WWE and we're in the Royal Rumble here. And then they're like, no, let's team up. It's and they did the fist bump. And then they turn around and look over, and standing there is Charlotte Flair, Bayley, and Bianca Belair. And then I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. And then Roxanne comes in and is like, what about me?
Right.
And she's in between Julia and Stephanie. And then she attacks Bayley first. And then the other 2 pair off with the other 2. So that was a really cool of
future meets present
/ present versus the future from NXT, where you had 2 of the 4 horsewomen, Bianca Belair, who have had just insane success on the main roster ever since they left NXT. Those 3. And then you've got on the other side the future, Roxanne, Julia, and Stephanie McCurry. So that was definitely a very cool moment of I like that. So then we have our girl, the Prodigy, Roxanne Perez.
One second. Before you get to that, I did like the little beat about Jordan. Obviously, Jordan doing that move to Piper, that was obvious.
Jordan got to do some cool stuff. I loved her. She mocked Jada's stepping thing, and then the DVD to Piper that popped the crowd big time.
Yeah, but I did really appreciate of her and Naomi going back to kind of their TNA days, hugging it out, and then I was hoping they would build on that more of Bianca.
Because Bianca was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Right.
Like she literally grabbed Jordan by the back of the hair and like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right. So
it's like we're a team here. She's the enemy.
Yeah, and we were waiting for it as soon as Jordan came out. Of course, her mom is 48 years old. She's not 50. So liar. Okay, Jordan.
Yeah. So much for her being hanging out with her mom for her birthday for the weekend. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Jordan also had a nice little tweet out after the Royal Rumble of her and a picture of her and Cody at that All In show that they did, and Cody basically like kind of giving her, and he basically, I guess, has been helping her out and where she is now.
I think that would be something that I would really love to see in the future too, Gif.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. They gave Lash a lot more to do.
Yeah, they did. Lash got to last in there a little bit longer than Jada did, but she got to look good before she got tossed by Chelsea.
But that makes sense, though, because Lash has been featured on the main roster.
Yeah, she's definitely on the verge of breaking out for sure. Yeah.
Which is a far cry from where she's been. I mean, like, hats off to Lash for putting in the work.
So, yeah. So, the only surprise was Jordan Grace didn't, like, get anywhere near, like, the end. Like, she got taken out just, I think, just before Nikki Bella came out.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
At 30. Because Julia... So there's scuttlebutt that she might spend a little bit of time in NXT before going to the main roster. So her getting eliminated by Julia may be a hint to that. So we'll see. That would be a fucking banger NXT title match, Jordan versus Julia. Sign me up for that. But the person who got to shine the biggest was our girl Roxanne Perez, the Prodigy. She came in at number 3. And not only, well, there was like 3 Iron Woman performances this match because the Io and Liv also lasted over an hour.
We were like, I think we were at 20 something, like the number 22 or whatever entered, and we were still at like 14 women. We kept saying that, like, there are so many women in this ring.
That was we'll get to that. One of my few complaints about this women's match. But the fact that the first 3, Io, Liv, and Roxanne, lasted past number 30. And then Roxanne got to last to the very end and was the last person eliminated by Charlotte to win the Rumble. And in the process, she breaks the longevity record, which was set last year by Bayley. And so now she's got the longevity record at 1 hour, 7 minutes, 45 seconds. I mean, what else can you say about what they think of Roxanne Perez with that kind of performance in the Rumble?
Guys, if you want to know my reaction, it's taped. Go back in but I was sitting there, I was like, Final 4. I just want to be Final 4. Oh shit, she's 3. Oh shit, she's 2.
Oh, we were excited that it's like, because like I was like, oh my god, she's in the Final 4. This is amazing. And then it's like, well, she's still in there. Oh my god, it's like now you just got dubbed. It's just Roxanne and Charlotte.
Right. And then, but
we knew at that point Charlotte was going to win. But
right.
The fact that Roxanne was the last person to be eliminated.
Yeah. Hour and 7 minutes.
Yeah. Now, yeah, I was expecting her and Bayley to cancel each other out in this Rumble, but instead they had Roxanne take Julia out when it was down to like final 6.
Yeah.
So and that's building toward the title match at Vengeance Day, obviously. And we'll get more of that NXT because I think it's not going to be a triple threat for much longer.
I'm telling you, Sean is reading my emails.
But that was completely awesome watching Roxanne get that kind of run in the Rumble match. And now she's got something to brag about. She's already bragging about it.
No, she's already bragging about it. The sky's the limit. And I am so glad that was more popular the fact of like, yes, they are backing her as much as we have seen.
It shows you how high they are on Roxanne.
Yeah.
That they gave her that kind of a run in the Rumble, and lasting all the way to the end, to being the last person being eliminated by Charlotte to win the match. Just awesome. Probably the only thing was maybe some more eliminations because the only person she eliminated was Julia. Ironically,
yeah, she really didn't eliminate a lot of people. of anything.
Oh, the other spot we completely glossed over it during the live reaction when Nikki Bella was doing the push-ups. Roxanne got down and did push-ups right in front of her.
Yeah,
I like that spot.
Yeah, I liked the. Of course, Chelsea was awesome.
Chelsea was one of the other highlights of this Rumble match besides Roxanne. The first half of the Rumble, Chelsea was the MVP. The fans loved everything she was doing. It's like what a testament to Chelsea Green that the fans were cheering for. She's supposed to be a heel, and the fans were into everything she was doing, and they were bummed when Piper Niven accidentally eliminated her out of the match.
Yeah, but that was a great spot.
That was.
Yeah, so interesting to see the fallout tomorrow. But yeah, no, Chelsea when she walked in when like Bianca and Lash and Naomi, and then Chelsea's like, hey.
Yeah, it's like so one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah. That was Chelsea's just great. But a couple of one thing that I didn't like.
CM Punk was very proud of his girl Roxanne because on his Instagram he tweeted out the graphic of her setting the longevity record on his Instagram. So I was like, man, Roxanne's still in there, and you kept looking. She's like, she's in there for 45 minutes. Like you were like my stop. You were like kept on away. And shout out to the bottom graphics, by the way. Those new graphics really liked that where they're keeping track of like how long people been in the match, who's how many eliminations there been, what number is coming up next. Really cool. I really like that. It's like it was like it's like a regular like major sports kind of ticker at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah,
very creative.
And everyone, as far as I know, according to the internet, everyone else liked it. So.
Yeah. So my there's some negatives about this women's Rumble match. Overall I like this women's Rumble match, but I wouldn't call it great because they had too many people in there for too long.
Mm-hmm.
The ring got really crowded, and when it's that crowded, it's really hard to be able to stand out. It's like some people did get that. Like when Stephanie Vaquer came in, Stephanie was in there for a bit, past 30, and then she got eliminated. But she came in, she got to have some moments. But there's other people who got completely lost in the shuffle. It's like I was really surprised because especially when Jordan came out, I thought she was she was going to eliminate some people, but she only ended up eliminating like I think it was just like Jada Parker right off the bat, and it's like, and then did the spot with Piper Niven, which was cool, and plus the whole setup where they had all these people on the apron barely hanging on, and then Nia just comes over and just knocks them all.
And somehow
out.
All of them fall except for Roxanne. Like I appreciated the fact that she stayed, but it just didn't make sense.
Yeah, Roxanne was the only one of that pile that did not get knocked off the apron.
And if my memory serves me correctly, she didn't move either. She didn't go over.
No, she was holding on to the bottom rope.
Right. So it just
that looked clunky. Yeah. It's like as soon as I saw that many people out there, I saw 9 in the background. I was like, oh, I see what's happening. So that was a bit clunky. And then Charlotte winning. Once Io and Bianca were out of the picture, that's when I was hoping, I picked Io because I really wanted to see someone different win because Charlotte was the predictable winner with her coming back and everything. And, they obviously, it's obvious that they want to do her versus Tiffany at WrestleMania, but it is what it is.
And plus there really wasn't much.
Honestly, it's either it's predictable, either you give her the predictable Rumble win, or if not, then you put her in the chamber and she's going to win. So I prefer that. I'm okay. I prefer at this point that she won the Rumble because now the women's elimination chamber is a lot more interesting to see who's going to win that. Pulling for well, we'll see because Io's not in it yet, but I think there's still a path for her to get it because it still feels to me like they're building toward Io versus Rhea. It's like the way the storyline's going, so we'll get more of that in the Raw. But still, between the nice surprises and the NXT performances, Roxanne's Iron Woman performance, still enjoyed the Rumble, but it had just some clunkiness, not as well paced as the men's, and the predictable winner kind of hurt it a bit. But then the men's Rumble was a complete opposite, whereas This was well paced, well booked, lots of storylines going on. Not too many people got ring, and then when it got up, you had a bunch of elimination clear things to thin things out, and things were very clear about like, okay, you can see where things are going heading into Mania for certain stuff, and the awesome surprise of Jay winning made this one of the best men's rumbles we've had in a while. This was the one I've most enjoyed since 2020 when Drew McIntyre won. This may go down as one of the best. It's like I've seen people talk about it. Like Jay winning is probably going to at this point it has to be considered the biggest upset in Rumble history as far as like who won it, because there was people who thought, oh, I could see him winning, but there's no way they'd do that.
I mean, we were arguing the fact that he would be Final Four, and I was like, nope, he's Final Four. Like,
yeah, you called him at least going Final Four at least.
Yeah. He's just too over. Like, that's the thing. He's just too over. If you didn't know, we're going to get into that in Raw of how over he really is. Mm-hmm. But also the reason people didn't think is because people have that bad taste in their mouth of him and his brother just sucking it up at WrestleMania. And he's every time he has a title shot, he finally got an Intercontinental title. He had that for a cup of coffee and then lost it again. He just lost to Gunther, which I think was the big mistake that they really made. It's the fact that if you're going to have him win the Royal Rumble, why did he have to job to Gunther on Saturday night's main event? Like, that's the problem. Because if Jay won, he was going to go after Gunther.
Yeah. But they really did a good job of setting up him winning with that promo he cut on Raw earlier in the week.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, maybe.
I know I can beat him. I just need one more chance.
Right.
And it's like.
But no, this, and I'm kind of piggybacking on what you were saying as far as this is one of the best booked men's Royal Rumbles I can honestly remember as far as the pacing, making sure. Now, obviously, the Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, there was some scuttlebutt that they were pissed.
Yeah, that's my boy's elimination was really messed up. I was like, why? Wait, what do you mean? He's like, why is he? Because like his whole deal was like he was like zeroed in on making sure Roman and CM Punk did not win. It's like especially Roman, and they played right into that because he came out. He went right after Roman as soon as he got in the ring, even teaming up with Jacob Fatu to double team, which was a cool spot.
Yeah, and then, but the way it was paced, the way it was booked, IShowSpeed died.
Yeah, that was hilarious. It's like that spear. He looked like Braun broke that kid in half. That was awesome.
I think you could. I think. Oh my God, Tozawa. He tweeted. Didn't he tweet out something like, this year I got in the Royal Rumble. Next year I will make it to the ring." Like,
right.
On that, but shout out to IShowSpeed for eating that, because people are like, "Damn, Braun didn't hold back." I said, "That's the point."
Yeah, and
I give you 300 million view reasons why they didn't hold back.
Yeah, having Ray and Penta open the Rumble was a great choice.
Mm-hmm. It's again, I think the big thing about this Royal Rumble is the future against the present. Like, all right, here's your future star, and
and Penta getting the Iron Man performance was a good choice. He lasted a good long time there in the Rumble. The early half of the match was basically watching Braun and Jacob Fatu just wreck people, which was the right thing to do for those two guys. Yeah, like,
and then Braun Strowman eliminating Jacob was the right move too.
Yes, exactly. It's like the way he was just kicking, just wrecking shop in the Rumble. I was like, that's the perfect one, because someone like Braun can be able to go toe to toe with Jacob, and plus that was his revenge for what happened at Saturday Night's Main Event. So that feud is not over yet between those two.
No.
And I love Jacob Fatu throwing a hissy fit after he got tossed. That was great.
Of course, Gift called it.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, what we were all hoping for, we said his name and he appears. Joe Hendry came out at the halfway point at number 15.
He's showing up everywhere. Got to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was great. He got the big reaction. Just wish he had lasted in the Rumble longer.
But it made sense. We got that square off against Roman and realized
that was a cool moment. That he went toe to toe with Roman. That was really cool.
He still got eliminated. Didn't he eliminate the Miz?
Yeah.
So and I liked how Sheamus just shout out to Sheamus and like him and Joe.
Yeah, because like, Jacob got to attack Joe Hendry, and Sheamus was like, "I was enjoying watching him. What you do that for?
I was enjoying that.
I was enjoying that."
Yeah.
that was funny. Yeah, I like the little tease of Braun versus Roman. Like Braun, he speared Roman hard. That was a nice spot, and
speared him so hard that when he went to eliminate him, he got reversed and got eliminated.
Yeah. And I love the shock look on like Braun's face, like what?
Yeah, you got a lot to learn, youngin. That's pretty good with that.
And they focused on the camera. He was like he was staring daggers at Roman, like
yeah.
We're gonna get you.
Speaking about speaking daggers, it's a good segue. That Roman Seth shot.
Oh, that camera shot when it was Final 6, and it's like you had the showdown between Roman and Seth. That camera angle where it's like you're focused in on Seth, and then it focused back, and you see Roman on the other side of the ring, and he's all like, "Motherfucker!"
Yeah. I got you. It's just me and you, and then obviously CM Punk and John Cena and Roman, were all kind of those three had their
that was a cool moment. And then I love that as soon as Seth got in the ring, he just attacked CM Punk immediately, and it was like no hesitation.
No.
AJ coming back, awesome surprise.
Yep. Got his own music back.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good there. But yeah, no, like I said, a lot of storylines setting up. I think they're going for Drew versus Priest, which.
But if you think about it, makes sense. How Drew had his moment.
Priest did beat him for the title.
Exactly. He cashed in Money in the Bank and took the title from him. So it would make sense that he would be added to the hit list for someone who fucked him.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, he eliminated from the Rumble.
He's always moment, and then after Punk attacked him, Priest took advantage of it and cashed in Money in the Bank on him and took the title. So
and last year's, it makes sense. Last year's WrestleMania,
the way
I had my moment
was just really weird and clunky, and apparently it was, and he was not happy about it backstage.
No, but apparently there was because it was LA Knight and Logan, and apparently more on LA for trying I don't know. But they were trying to get a couple more moves in that they weren't supposed to.
They threw the timing off of when the elimination was supposed to happen, and that's why. And it came off like it's just happened, and then they moved on. Which made it even weirder. But the final 6 was star loaded. I love the showdown between Seth and Roman, especially them jaw jagging, and Seth's like, "I'm not letting you get another WrestleMania main event," and then Punk eliminating them. And then getting eliminated right after by Logan Paul. That was awesome.
Yeah. And then did you catch on the hot mic where Roman's looking at Punk and was like, "We just teamed a month ago."
Yeah, he was pissed at Punk, like why'd you stab me in the back, dude? I thought we were basically what did you stab me in the back like that for? I thought we were cool. We just teamed together.
And also too, shout out to the person who kind of noticed it. So when Seth and Roman are sitting there on the rope, you'll notice that Roman's foot gradually kind of comes up to let Punk know, all right, I got Seth. Now you can come eliminate us.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a pretty cool little nugget that someone pointed out. That's I always love the little cool nuggets there of how everything works.
And we didn't hear what CM Punk said something to Heyman, so that now the favor is in play. We'll see, and it depends on what happens with the chamber. But Seth went full heel, man. That double stomp was vicious. And then the stomp on the stairs. I saw a fan video. Roman sold that all the way into the back.
Yeah.
He acted like he was a little out of it, like what's going on? I'm still in the match, right? He acted like he was a little confused. And then he was all like, fuck. Like this when he was like, he had his hands in his face, all upset that he didn't win the Rumble, as he was riding on the back of a cart, golf cart going into the back with Heyman. It's like fans caught it. It's like and it's like that's dedication where he's staying in character while he's still out in front of the fans, even though he's not on camera.
Right.
So props to Roman for that.
And also, like, when's the last time you saw Roman get beat down like that?
No, that was vicious. Like especially that double stomp. I was like, oh, like we were watching live. I went, oh,
yeah. I don't remember the last time because I mean, obviously Roman's been healed for like the past 5.5 years.
They're set up a lot of stuff between Punk, Roman, and Seth heading into Mania with that how they got taken out of the Rumble and what happened outside the ring. So yeah, it's like Roman's not going to let what Seth did to him slide, man. Like,
no, but yeah, shout out to Jay because we were, and it was a nice little inning back and forth.
Well, you thought that they're like, oh, Cena's got this back. I was saying like, don't. It's like they may let Jay win this, dude. It's like they.
But yeah, and that's why I laughed about our reaction because Justin's like, oh, and I'm just like, this motherfucker's going to win it, isn't he?
Yeah, you thought that Cena had this after it was down to him, Jay, and Logan Paul, and I was kind of the other way, but I was still like, there's still a possibility that Jay could win it because there's no way they're going to have Logan Paul win. That's like they're not, like he's not winning it, so it's like it's either Jay or Cena's winning this thing. Okay, and the whole sequence at the end between the two of them was fantastic. I love that the crowd at first was kind of like there was a delayed reaction, like they couldn't believe that he won, and then like it really sunk in, and the fans were like really like excited, and they were appropriately torn because they're both rooting for Cena. They love Cena. They're rooting for him to get number 17, but at the same time, they love Jay. So it's like they were into it, but you could tell that it was like 50-50. Like the fans were like 50-50 about like we love these guys, but it's like they weren't cheering for one over the other. It is like, which was really cool to watch. And props to Cena for helping Jay have that moment, and then coming in and hugging him and congratulating him, being the class act he is. And and then I was like, okay, so now it's like this adds more to Cena's storyline. Okay, all right, you tried to win the Rumble, failed. What's next? Next on the list, win Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. Because that's as soon as the Rumble's over, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe we won it. And then I'm like, and then once you let it settle a little bit, I'm like, oh, of course they're gonna have Cena in the Elimination Chamber. Like,
right.
It all kind of makes sense. It's like just because he didn't win the Rumble doesn't mean he's still not going to get 17. And then John Cena went into that presser and reminded everyone of why he's still one of the GOATs. Because that promo was awesome.
Yeah, he goes, I'm declaring myself Elimination Chamber. I have every intention of winning the Elimination Chamber and going on to WrestleMania to win my 17th World Championship so that I can shake the hand of the person who will win their 18th.
Right. So it's just when people are like, why is John Cena? I was like, that's why.
Yeah.
The way he delivered that line, the conviction he had on his face. Obviously, he's not a bad actor. If we, look at him at Peacemaker, I think that's
you did call it. Okay, it's like
yeah, he was 50-50 on the ticker too.
Yeah,
which some people were. Now, the IWC going butthurt over this.
Yeah, there was a lot of backlash from people not just for. I wasn't surprised that there was backlash about Charlotte winning. The backlash against Jay winning really surprised me and irked me.
Yeah, because I'm like, what?
And I'm glad people are calling out this like bullshit because it's like, and a lot of people have said this, and it's like it's dead on. You have these people on the IWC bitch about like, it's like they don't push new people, they don't put new people over who are clearly over. Give them a chance. This is what Jay is. Jay is so over. He's one of the most popular babyfaces on the roster. It's like just look at how the fans react to it when he comes out. It's like especially on Raw when he came out to celebrate winning the Rumble. It's like 99% of the people are throwing their hands up. It's like
and they said we'll get into it, but like he was like one more time, and that wasn't planned, guys.
No, that wasn't.
He was just like and
this guy has gotten organically over. He's uber popular. So when they pulled the trigger on going with the surprise of having him win instead of the obvious pick like Cena or Punk, they go and bitch and moan.
You can't. Please.
Then it's like now you're being a hypocrite because you're complaining about them not taking the opportunity to build up someone new who's really popular and give them a chance, and then they go and do that, and then you're still complaining.
Yeah, I just and
look. Is he the best worker out there? No. Did him and Jimmy have a really bad match at WrestleMania last year? Yes, it was the worst match on both nights.
But his other
when he's a bad wrestler, and plus it's like you got to. They're taking advantage of the fact that how popular it is, and they're giving him a chance.
Right.
It's like, and plus the storyline is something you can get behind, where it's like he's lost to Gunther multiple times, and now he's finally got that one more shot. On the biggest stage of them all, WrestleMania, he's got the opportunity to win his first world championship against the Ring General, who he has not been able to beat yet, but he believes he can, and the fans believe he can. And Gunther's going to do is like, I love, we'll get to that way. I love what Gunther said to him on Raw. Like, if you choose me, this is what's going to happen. It's like, so. No, like they said, the Charlotte backlash I completely understand because everyone's kind of feels like they're tired of Charlotte getting somehow. It's like I get it, and sometimes I do feel that way, but Charlotte's still a damn good wrestler, and that's undisputable. I'm sorry,
she makes money, guys. She's a main eventer.
Her and Tiffany is a Mania match. That's money. Yeah, her versus Tiffany Stratton.
But what was the last thing I was going to say about Jay winning? And yeah, I guess people are just like, the repetitive of Gunther, but it's like, and then what they were kind of like the scuttlebutt now of just like, well, now we're just going to have The Rock, CM Punk, and Seth in a match at Mania. I'm like, yeah, why not?
We can have a triple threat.
Main
event one of the nights.
Yeah, you can main event one of the nights, guys. So, I mean,
Punk will probably get his main event.
Where were you going to? Rock's not here, guys. Rock's not here. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do with Seth and Punk? And because we're going to have just like people are like, oh, just do Punk versus Gunther. But the story was never there. I know you can't have it. I know you can. Trust me. I know you can. But the Gunther Jay has history. Great. It's been Jay just barely can't get there. Can't get over the hump. That is wrestling 101 as far as storytelling. Is the baby face just can't get to the mountaintop, but he's so damn close, and everyone is behind him. And then you do it at WrestleMania. Yep. That is booking 101. Can CM Punk and in 4 months build a great thing between him and Gunther? But that's not what you've been building with Punk and Roman and Seth all these months. So why are you just going to say, all right, hold on, we're going to go here?
Yeah, exactly.
It can still work. I understand that. But at the end of the day, you have built this city on Jay versus Gunther and Roman, Seth, and Punk. I don't think Jay and Gunther are going to main event either night.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
They will probably kick off night 2 or night 1, in my personal opinion. But who knows how this build's going to go.
Right.
But that's the thing is, if you sit there and think about it, they're not just going to pivot to sometimes pivots work. We saw it last year.
Yeah, in the right context. But no, this is the storyline between Jay and Gunther has been logically built up for quite some time.
Yes.
And so now it's like now we get the intrigue of like, well, okay, who's going to face Cody at Mania? And now we got the Chamber to figure that out. And it's going to be loaded with some big names. And we already got 2 of them already. It's like Cena's in it, and then we got one other person after Raw is in it, which was no surprise. So that's going to add a lot of drama. Like the chamber match is going to be very interesting because there's a lot of possibilities about who could win these chamber matches to determine who the other title matches at Mania for the men and the women.
They did. Jay was on McAfee's show Monday, I believe. They had him on Monday.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, and Cole was on with McAfee, and he was saying how, he ran into Rikishi. Rikishi didn't know that he was going to win.
Yeah, he didn't tell him.
He didn't tell him. And Cole was basically to take a moment to tell Jay that, his dad was just super emotional. And, it was just a really cool moment with that. And then also they're asking Jay about John Cena, and he was like, he was kind of my big brother when I came into this thing. He was just like, do this, do that. Also, and so he was just like, I'm very grateful for John Cena for my career because he's helped me out so much when he didn't have to. And then Joe Hendry, when he was on I can't pronounce Ariel's last name.
Ariel Helwani.
Helwani.
He got it with Cena backstage.
He met up with that because he's been teasing about wanting to face John Cena this year. But because he was just like, I set out to be TNA World Champion. I became World Champion. Then I set out to be in the Royal Rumble. I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble. Everything I set out to do, I will do it. Therefore, I want John Cena this year because that's going to happen. Because everything I set my mind to, I'm going to get. But the other nugget that he dropped was that when he was backstage, he went to CM Punk and Cody. We're like, what would you do if you were me? And he was like, and they didn't have to give me, and they gave him advice as well. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's who Cody and Punk are at this point, which is great to see. And I'll just say, I heard that Cena was like, yeah, if you want you and me, keep banging the drum and make it happen.
Right.
So it sounds like Cena is down with facing Joe Hendry. If they can pull that off, that will like put this TNA WWE crossover into the stratosphere. If you have Cena versus Joe Hendry one-on-one match, it's some
right. Right. Because after he gets done filming in Budapest, which is where Cena
he'll be back in time for the Chamber. Yeah,
Chamber. I think after that we get Cena.
We're probably going to see Cena a bit on the shows, but leading up to Mania.
He says he's in his promo. He was acting like, I'm going to enter. He's like, I'm, what's best for business. So right now, I'm going to do one for me, and I'm going to declare myself for the Elimination Chamber. I'm going to go sit.
And no one's complaining about that because it's like, it's Cena. It's like it's not like he's pulling like a Hogan, like a Rock saying like, I'm putting myself in the chamber. He's like, it's like, no, put me in the chamber. And Triple H is like, he said, he's like, if John Cena says he wants to be in the Elimination Chamber, he's in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. And then Punk was on some other interview
because
show.
He's earned that because of who he is and what he's done.
Yeah. And then Punk was kind of poking at it. He was like, really? Like Cena can just come in here and just say whatever he wants. Yeah, he can.
Yeah, he can.
It's because he's John F. and Cena. He carried the company for 20 years. Or at least 15 of it.
And also Roman tweeted out Yeet as well to congratulate Jay as well.
Yeah. He did. And then Jay, that's another thing about IWC. He was like, is kayfabe even real with the backstage between Jacob and Jimmy?
Oh, yeah. Because, there's footage that Jimmy and Jacob Fatu were waiting in Gorilla when Jay came back in after celebrating winning the Rumble with his son. Right. And they were there to, like, greet him. They gave him, like, a little, like, makeshift, like, Olafala to put her. I thought that was awesome.
Yep. So I thought
they both gave him big hugs.
Yeah. And they were saying like Jay was like hadn't hit me yet, but when it did hit him, Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
So great show, great show.
Yeah. This Rumble, this is one of the best Rumbles in a while. It's like, the show like kind of like went like this, where it was like each match was definitely better than the other, and it got to the point where the men's Rumble was so good, it was like the icing on the cake. So
yeah, I felt bad for Motor City and DIY, but you knew, they were gonna. That's what we kept debating. I'm like, they're not gonna give them time because they're gonna give a lot of time to the women in the men's Rumble.
We really got to shine. Roxanne got to shine. Jay winning is awesome. Cody and KO kill each other for our benefit and amusement. So big thumbs up for Royal Rumble 2025. One of the best overall one of the best Rumble shows we've had in a while, I think.
Yep. All right, let's move on to Raw.
All right, here's a recap. What happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Show opened with the 2025 Men's World Rumble winner, Jey Uso, coming out to a big reaction. He cut an emotional promo thanking the fans for everything, saying that he wasn't sure if he'd ever be able to be a single star after being, tag team champion for so long, but now he finally believes it. Gunther came out to respond, saying that if Jay chose to face him once again at WrestleMania, he would make sure that Jay suffered unbelievably before losing to him once again at WrestleMania. They recapped John Cena the Royal Rumble again. Seth attacking Roman after they got eliminated, including a stomp on the floor and then a stomp on the steel steps. They said Roman was recovering from injuries to do that and was out for the time being. John Cena was shown at the post-show press conference declaring for the Elimination Chamber. And then we got into the first qualifying match for both men and women's chamber matches later in the show. We had Louis Kaiser taking on Penta, as a result of Penta eliminating Louis Kaiser within a couple seconds after he entered the Rumble match on Saturday. Penta picked up the victory with the Penta driver. Pete Dunne came out and distracted Penta, and that allowed Louis Kaiser to attack him and lay him out after the match. They showed JD McDonough as getting injured last week during the tag title match, saying he's going to be out for at least 4 months. Finn Balor bitched to Wrestle Judgment what's been going on lately, but Dominic said everything's cool. He got him a Elimination Chamber qualifying match to smooth things over. Charlotte Flair came out to cut a promo. Tried to cut a babyface promo about recovering from injury and coming back at the Rumble and winning it, but the fans booed her, so she went back into more of a heel mode. Rhea Ripley came out and said that she wouldn't mind if they danced one more time at WrestleMania for a third time if she chooses to. Charlotte called her a kid and seemed to be very dismissive. But Rhea said she really hopes she chooses her so she can beat the respect out of her. Sami Zayn says he still plans to try to get into the WrestleMania event, and that's by beating CM Punk in the Elimination Chamber match, qualifying match at the main event of the show. He ran to James in the back, and Jay apologized for accidentally eliminating him during the Rumble match. Sami told him, hugged him, said everything's cool, and that he was happy that he won. Karen Cross came out to once again to whisper in Sami's stuff in his ear, but Sami doesn't want to hear what he's selling. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley were talking in the back when Liv Morgan and Raquel jumped Io, and Ripley tried to help, but she also got attacked as well. New Day came out to take on the LWO, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. New Day finally had new music to fit their heel status. Kofi hit Trouble in Paradise for the New Day to finally pick up a victory. Then they showed that next week, Lara Valkyria will take on Bayley in a one-on-one match. Winner will be in the Women's Elimination Chamber match. We got the first Women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Io Sky took on Liv Morgan. Raquel tried to pull some shenanigans, which brought out Rhea Ripley. She brawled with Raquel and then, without really thinking, punched Liv Morgan in the face right in front of the referee, causing a disqualification and win for Liv Morgan. Io Sky was very upset at Rhea for that mistake. The War Raiders ran afoul of American Made in the back. Chad Gable said the Creed Brothers are going to come get their championship. Chad said that he's going to be gone for a bit. He's going to go learn some of the dark arts of Lucha Libre, and he expects them, Ivy Now and the Creeds, to win gold by the time he gets back. Adam Pearce announced that AJ Styles had been transferred to Raw before the transfer window had closed. He will be debuting on Raw next week. Brian Berger came in to talk about who his next opponent is. Seth Rollins came out, cut a promo, congratulated Jey Uso for winning the Rumble. Said CM Punk got he would deserve the Rumble, and so did Roman Reigns. He told Sami Zayn to beat CM Punk and prevent him from getting into the WrestleMania, anywhere near the WrestleMania main event. Wish him luck. So we had our main event match. CM Punk versus Sami Zayn. Winner would join John Cena in the Men's Elimination Chamber match. CM Punk picked up the victory. Although Sami was ejected, he and Punk shook hands after the match as both were looking to walk out of the ring. Kevin Owens came out of nowhere, attacked them both. He then gave Sammy a package pile driver in the middle of the ring and left him laying to close out the show. So that's all that happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw.
Well, turn on the mic. Woo, a lot happened on this show.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll just go right to that last match.
Go for it.
That was one of the best TV matches I can remember of just how you tell a swimmer. Okay, let me rewind. Remember when someone said that people care more about the storytelling than the wrestling? And I was like, no, there's storytelling in the wrestling. This is what I will show them of how you tell a story in a match.
Yeah.
Of what these two did and how particular every little thing of they were gritty. It wasn't some flashy, you go to this spot, you go to this spot. Everything mattered. The crowd was into it. Well paced. I really enjoyed how they put this together. With that last match of CM Punk and Sami Zayn on that. I was like, every time I watched it, I'm like, man, that was okay. We're going this. Wow. Okay. And they told a story within that match. And so I really, really enjoyed it. What say you on that?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to like about this episode of Raw. Jay opening was great. You could see the real emotion. And Gunther coming out and what he said, where he's like, you choose me, I will hurt you. It's like I will destroy you.
Yeah,
I love that. Setting up the stakes.
That face off between them, you felt it.
Now, even though Charlotte and Jay are both like, well, I'm not saying who I'm going to choose yet, but we know who they're both choosing.
I just like how Jay didn't even say I'm going to go to NXT and talk to Oba. He was just like, I'm going to go to SmackDown, talk to Cody.
Yeah, it was obviously the Charlotte one makes sense because she did challenge Rhea for the NXT Women's Championship the first time they faced each other at WrestleMania, the last time she won the Rumble. So, and
Rhea's promo to Charlotte was awesome. But going back to the Gunther Jay, like I said, that when they went and Gunther cut a hell of a promo, and Jay kind of went back at him, but you can just tell, like, all right, this is money. This is what we wanted.
Yeah, no, like they have not had a real one-on-one match at Mania with their history.
Yeah.
And they throw in Punk in the mix potentially as a triple threat. Oh mama.
Right. On that, but yeah, no. When people kept showing the Jay's entrance and stuff, and like all the shots and stuff of Jay and all the crowd will get into it, and people are like, "Yeah, that was a bad decision." And then some guy online was just like,
"Fuck that shit."
Tell me, am I the only one that sees this? Is Jay Uso like the power line of wrestling? And I was like, damn it, I can see it. Like from Goofy movie Power Line.
Right.
Is Jay Uso the power line? I was like, yeah, I can kind of see it. But if you don't think he's over, the crowd wanted him to do the stuff one more time. Penta Ludwig Kaiser was great.
Good stuff. You love how they're doing what they're doing with Penta. Definitely setting up a lot of interesting feuds potentially for him. AJ going over to Raw, cool. They kind of teased maybe AJ Braun on the way to Mania. That's interesting. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, this GIF wants Styles versus Paul. I'll be down for that. WrestleMania, ain't bad.
Hey, hello to our buddy Brennan over in the Twitch chat. Thank you very much for stopping by.
So a couple of things. They tried to make Charlotte a babyface, and the crowd's just not having it.
No, the crowd was like, "We don't give a fuck. You it's like we don't like you."
It's like I've had the worst year. I had the worst year of my life last year. People were like, I don't care.
But that crowd was not having any of it.
No, and then she finally just kind of started to turn on him because she's like, "Fuck it."
Props to Charlotte for going into heel mode, seeing how the crowd was treating her.
Yeah.
Was the right move.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, Jeff. Is like I'm pulling for Io, and I think that it's like it feels like that's where the storyline's headed because they've been teasing stuff between the two of them. They've interacted a lot. Io and Rhea have a respect for each other. They did the War Games together. Do you remember in the build after Io won the Battle Royal to get that title shot against Liv on the first Saturday Night's main event when they brought it back?
Mm-hmm.
There was that shot of her and Rhea both picking up the world title at the same time and staring at each other. It's like that wasn't done for no reason.
Right.
And now you have more intrigue to the storyline because now Rhea accidentally cost Io a shot at the Chamber. So that adds even more drama. Io's going to get in the Chamber. They're going to do like a last chance opportunity for like the losers. She's going to get in the Chamber.
Because that was such a shit finish of that.
Yes. I was like, what the? But then I was like, oh, I was like, oh.
I know what they were doing, but I thought that was pretty cheap.
Yeah. It made Rhea like look a little stupid where it's like Rhea just like, what were you thinking? Like, but she can be like, she can write it off as that like Liv is kind of like a blind spot for her where it's like she just goes into rage mode. You know, it's like
that was one of the best singles matches Liv has had that I can remember.
Liv is cooking.
Those two tore it down. That's another reason why I was just like, man, that was a shit finish for as good of a match as they had. But you had to do that to at least plant the seed of Rhea and Io. So you had to do that. Another thing that I'm worried about. One thing, the New Day has new music.
That was finally they got new music.
I like it, and I liked how they still incorporated their D&D type stuff. They still had it, but it's dark now.
Yeah, I like that.
They still have that. Like it's not a unicorn anymore.
They needed a win.
Yes, but they kind of took a back seat to the Logan Ray stuff. That's the problem.
Yeah, kind of, but at least they got a win. It's like like.
I mean, yeah, like I said, they got to win. I'm still getting used to Kofi with the like shaved mustache part. Here. But it's whatever. What was the other thing? So Seth's promo went a little long to me. But then I loved the tone of his pep talk to Sammy, where he really wasn't trying to help Sammy out and pump him up. It was more of don't let Punk win. Right. It was more of like a selfish Punk one.
Yeah, it wasn't about him trying to pump his friend up. It was more like, don't fuck this up. Beat CM Punk, please.
Yes, because I'm tired of CM Punk. And then, obviously, like, we already know.
And then it's like as soon as Kevin Owens was here, I was like, oh, no. He's here to kill Sammy. And that's what he did.
That was so good. And, yeah. Cool. Are we going to get KO and Sammy for the 776th time at WrestleMania? Yep. And I'm going to love every second of it.
No, I'm thinking Elimination Chamber.
With the package pile driver, you never know.
No, I think
but it's in Toronto. Why wouldn't you have KO with Sammy?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's in Toronto. It's in Canada. It's like you got to have it. Besides, Randy's not back yet either.
Ooh, no, he's not. That was another thing in the back of my mind. I'm like, where is Randy?
You could have KO and Sammy at Elimination Chamber, and Kevin looks to like just completely destroy Sammy. And Randy finally returns to save, and then you get KO and Randy at Mania for the blow-off.
Yeah. But no, and I like, you can tell like he was just like going through Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth doing all his talking stuff, but it really hit. I was like, okay, where are you going with this, Seth? Because it's kind of like, we know you have history with both of those guys. So it was kind of like a nothing promo, and then when Sammy came out, it showed his like heelish like.
I love that it shows that how unhinged KO is right now as a heel, or it's like it's like he's gone over the edge. He's like that he
was still selling the effects of him getting the crap beat out.
Yeah, he had a black eye and everything.
And like after he did that, he's just like
he acted like he had like a limp. It's like he was selling. He was still selling what happened in the ladder match, which is great.
And this is where we just have to let it breathe with this new era. We have to let it breathe because, like we were saying even during our like, why was Sammy even there? Why did Sammy came out and did nothing? Even when Cody's standing over him, he did nothing.
He did nothing.
And then when Kevin attacked him, I'm like, you know what? Just we should just let it happen.
Right.
Just let it happen.
That's what I say. It's like him doing nothing was the point. He didn't help KO win. He didn't stop Cody from hurting him. So now KO now considers that a betrayal, and that's why he attacked him.
Yeah. So,
also,
he was
wearing the Sammy shirt while doing it.
I forgot. Sami Zayn forever. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love that I forgot to mention during the ladder match him coming out with the Canadian Dream shirt.
Mhm.
You, me, and my friend James, who was watching the show with me here during the last stream, we all love that. It was like,
Yeah.
just fantastic stuff.
No, yeah, and Kevin, the fact that like even getting his T-shirts are now like part of his feuds.
We can't rule that out.
No,
Yeah, it's a possibility. I'm not enthused about it, but can't rule
I
it out.
just wish Karrion Kross was better in the ring. He's just so clunky. If there's anyone that can get a great match out of Karrion Kross, it's Sammy. He got a great match out of Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah,
but man, their little stare down at it just Karrion is so good naturally on the mic, and his demeanor and stuff. Because like the whole thing of like, if you want a problem, there could be one. He's like, there has to be a problem, but and like his turn and him just like staring.
This Elimination Chamber is going to be pretty dope because we already got Cena and Punk in the Elimination Chamber. We still got
Looks like we're going to get Seth because Seth is going to get beat.
Seth is going to get in there.
Logan's probably going to get in there because he's going to beat Ray. But who knows with that? That's still up in the air.
It's Seth versus Finn, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And plus what's going on Judgment Day, yeah, Finn's not winning that.
Can we just move on from the Judgment Day now?
Just let's go forward with the implosion. It's like it should be coming around the corner. And it's unfortunate JD McDonough is injured because he's not going to be a part of it, but that can play into something down the line when he returns. Yeah. You know, like.
And speaking about JD McDonough and all that stuff, with the tag titles, hey, the Creed brothers, we finally get them back in the tag title picture.
Creed brothers need to be in the tag team discussion. It's about fucking time. And now, I see them more likely winning the tag titles. I don't see Ivy. Lyra just won the IC title. She's not going to lose it just yet. So Ivy's not taking that from her. I'd be dope with the Creed brothers winning. Build that toward like Mania. It's like have the Creed brothers get a big one. It's like that's long overdue.
Yeah.
So I'm done with that. But yeah, no, this is a good follow-up brawl to the Rumble. Setting up a lot of stories going into Mania.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then man, I wish I need a VPN so I could watch the international feed because the New Day cut a cool
I'm
promo.
really tempted to like get a VPN just so I can watch it without the commercial breaks and see like the stuff that's in between.
Because the New Day cut a great promo. It was like, we're getting out of Cleveland. That's why Myles Garrett wants to leave Cleveland.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard that was like, ooh.
And then Alpha Academy and I think A-Town Down Under had a thing. So like they're putting them online, but it's just not for us. And it's just okay. No, I don't mind that. Give Sammy Money in the Bank. Yeah, I can see that. That's a decent call there, Giff, to have Sammy get Money in the Bank.
Here's one other thing to think about. Yeah, we're not. Nobody's thrilled that the Rumble's going to be in Saudi Arabia next year, but because it's in Saudi, the possibility of Sammy winning that Rumble is very high. Because
Justin,
because how very popular he is over there.
Justin, breaking news: Buffalo has an MVP. Josh Allen won MVP.
Well, I guess Haley Steinfeld brought him luck because she was with him at the for the awards tonight.
Yeah,
so I'm glad he got the nod over Lamar.
Yep. I'm not, but that's okay. but yeah, no, great show. Let's move on to another. Speaking about another good show, AEW's
a surprisingly good Dynamite.
Surprisingly good Dynamite. Let's just make it 2 in a row next week.
All right, here's a recap what happened on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. Show opened with Switchblade JY talking about maybe Ket, but Mox and Death Rider showed up to attack him, but he had backup in the form of Copeland and FTR. They all brawled into ringside. Babyface got the better of it. Copeland once again challenged Moxley for the title at Revolution, but Mox got on the mic and refused. Jay White then had his own proposal that Moxley and Claudio take on him and Copeland in a street fight at Grand Slam. They showed Buddy Matthews once again challenging Okada on Collision this weekend to a Continental Championship match. Will Ospreay came out to face a member of Don Callis' family. Don Callis revealed that he had retained the services of Mark Davis, Kyle Fletcher's former tag team partner, with much to Will Ospreay's shock. Ospreay picked up victory with the Hidden Blade. He brought out Kenny Omega. Kenny cut a promo on him and Ospreay taking on Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher at Grand Slam. They came out, but Don Callis held them back, and he hyped up the match. The Hurt Syndicate came out with MVP, saying that they will continue to seek gold, but for now they're going to be concentrating on defending the tag team titles, and said that they're open for business, a.k.a. anyone wants to step up and challenge them. Well, they got a challenge in the form of the Guns, who finally returned from injury. They challenged the Hurt Syndicate for the tag titles, and MVP liked their guts and said that they'd get a shot for the titles against them next week's show. Renee tried to get an interview with Mercedes Moné, but Harley Cameron popped in with her Mercedes Moné puppet to poke fun at Mercedes. Mercedes didn't appreciate that. Renee tried to interview Hangman Adam Page, who said he had no remorse about ending Chris Daniels' career with the Texas Death Match. Platinum Max Caster interrupted, saying that asking if Hangman's done because he wants his interview time. Hangman didn't appreciate that and chased after him to kick his ass. Then we had a tag match as the Hounds of Hell, Brody King and Buddy Matthews, took on Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. Okada's music hit, distracting Buddy, and that allowed the heels to recover. And Takeshita eventually was able to take down Brody King, and they pinned him to win the match. Samoa Joe and Hook paid a visit to Christian's locker room and found Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian in there. Decided to have them deliver a message to Christian, and they beat them down. Christian saw what was happening and decided not to get involved, and only came in after they left. MJF came out to cut a promo, saying Jeff Jarrett got what he deserved. He said that the E in AEW stands for elite, not the elderly. Max Caster ran out to the ring to avoid adding Adam Page. Hangman and MJF got in each other's face, once again teasing things between them. Then Dustin Rhodes came out to interrupt MJF, tired of his crap. They got into it, and that set up a match between the two of them for next week. Then Queen Amenamata took on Timeless Tony Storm. Mariah May was on commentary. Tony came out dressed up and acting like Mariah May, which really got under Mariah May's skin and pissed her off. Tony won the match and continued to pretend and act like Mariah May after the match, further pissing off the AEW Women's Champion. The Learning Tree did their New York Minute segment, but Powerhouse Hobbs came out to attack the Learning Tree, and that led to a big brawl as things between Big Bill and Powerhouse Hobbs escalate. Then we got our main event match. Ricochet taking on Swerve Strickland. Good stuff between these two. Near the end of the match, Swerve went up for a Swerve Stomp, but Ricochet put his hands up and basically low-blowed him. And the referee wasn't sure if it was intentional or not, which allowed him to get away with it. And then he followed up with a Spirit Gun to pin Swerve and win the match. Afterwards, he attacked Prince Nana and took his embassy robe, basically stealing it, and walked away. Close out the show. So that's all that happened on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite.
I mean, just a solid show.
Yeah. No, this was a nice surprise.
Okay. I'm going to ask you where you want to start, but first thing, I'm a little nugget. They need, if AEW smart, most of the time they're not, unfortunately, they need to sell that Mercedes Moné doll.
Yeah, no, I'm loving what Harley Cameron's doing. I mean, with the doll and everything to really get under Mercedes' skin. I'm liking that. I love Samoa Joe and Hook together. Their backstage stuff is. I love the chit chat they have backstage before they go like beat the shit out of somebody. It's like they're just having casual conversation. And I love that. It's like, well, I love how Joe's like, well, since Chris is not here, we want you to deliver this message.
Yeah. Just beat the crap out of him.
And then it made it even more hilarious when Christian opens the door, sees what's going on, is like, fuck no.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh no, what happened to you guys?
Yeah. That reminded me of like the old the Pinnacle versus in the Inner Circle. Remember that where like MJF opened the door and then closed it real quick? It was like, nope. That whole thing. And then kind of pivot to that. It's great to see MJF promos when he cares.
Yep.
Because his promo with Dustin Rhodes.
This was better than the stuff with Double J and the stuff with Dustin Rhodes.
Yes, Dustin Rhodes. And then him going being like, you were trying to get out of your dad's shadow. Now you're trying to get out of your brother's. It was just like,
that was a good line.
Yeah.
Because it's an understandable shot because Dustin's never been a world champion. Cody has.
And he's the son of a plumber, the American dream.
Yeah, the American dream. And
then
so that was good. I'm fine with. It definitely seemed like it's like MJF is pissing off the old Legends storyline here, but I'm more down with him facing Dustin than Double J. I don't think it's Double J, but limited amount of Death Riders was a good thing because it's like too much. I'm glad they limited to just the opening. They had the brawl. Okay.
And also shout out to the crowd. The crowd made this show.
This crowd was hot. This crowd was into this show big time.
Yeah.
Heck, I even like the learning tree segment because.
Hold on. What time is it? Hold on. I have to. What time is it? What date?
I know. It's shocking because I know it's.
Are you sure you're okay?
I am. I'm sure I'm okay. It's
okay.
Because I like where it led, where it's like Powerhouse, and then the Outriders come out, and he had the big fight. I'm with Bill. I'm liking where they're leading toward this Haas fight between Big Bill and Powerhouse Hobbs. It's like I'm liking where it's going. So that was cool. The main event match. Let's see. Well, before we get to main event, what else?
Tony Storm
pretending to be Mariah May. The match wasn't
so
great,
good.
But her impression of Mariah May was hilarious.
So good.
And I loved how Mariah May was trying to act like it didn't piss her off, but she like you could see that it got under her skin, and
Mariah was doing her great.
Tony is playing mind games and getting under her skin, and it's working. Yeah, so I thought that was great. I'm gonna go off a tangent.
The guns in the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah. Not the guns. Glad the guns are back. That should be an interesting.
Because remember how dead the guns were, and then they joined the Bullet Club, and they really propped them up, and then when they came back, they got a pop. I'm like, okay, they're finally building people, and not just like here they're good. Like,
it definitely helped that they had a very hot crowd for this show. Yes. It definitely helped. I'm going to go off on a quick tangent here to talk about something we haven't really talked about is this whole debacle with Grand Slam. Well, this has been a lot of the scuttlebutt lately. We haven't talked too much about it, but it's like originally they wanted to do a stadium show, like 50,000, but they didn't sell enough tickets, so they moved to a small arena. But then they barely advertised it. And then when they announced the date, everyone was like, wait a minute, that's the same night as the NBA All-Star festivities. How can that air at the same time? It's like, and then it's like, oh, well, since it's in Australia, we're going to air it on tape delay. Okay, when? It's like, and they have you noticed that they don't have a set time of when it's going to air? Now it's just like after the NBA stuff is over with. So we don't even know the exact time frame it's going to air next Saturday. And it's like, that's just a giant mess. It's like, what are you doing, Tony? It's like, because there's some really good matches that are going to be on that show, and who's going to be watching it? because it's like how were you not thinking about when you chose that date that you're not going to be able to have it in prime time on the Turner networks because NBA stuff is going on. It's like somebody really fucked up over there.
They're too busy hanging out at his dad's yacht at the Super Bowl right now to care about it. Did you see that shit?
Yeah.
Shad Khan's like $400 million yacht pulled up to the Super.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah. But yes, no, Tony and May, one of the best feuds in AEW history. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's besides. Now that I got that over it, the main event was really good match. I'm glad that Ricochet went over. It's like the feud needed that. Appreciate Swerve willing to do the job there. He did it by some chicanery means there, so that keeps the feud going. And plus, stealing the robe from Nana it's adding insult to injury. So, I really enjoyed that
powerbomb spot on the barricade.
Oh god, that was brutal. Ugh.
Oh, that's like KO Cody. Like, oh god, But that's typical. That's typical. That's a Darby Allin spot. That
very Darby Allin.
Yeah. So and Darby, don't die. Climb the mountain, don't die.
Yeah. So like, there was some good stuff. There was a lot of good stuff on the show. Not a lot of crap. It was well paced. Oh, I did think it was funny. I love that Marina Shafir basically picked up Renee, got her out of there. It's like, okay, I'm taking you out of here so you don't get caught in the chaos.
Yeah, I like that too. She's like, come on, we're gonna take you away from this. And then what was it? Yeah, Hounds of Hell are over.
Oh yeah, no, I'm glad that they are over. My only problem was that they had them go against Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher, who I was like, well, they're going to lose because they're not going to have those two lose going into their tag match against Ospreay and Omega at Grand Slam. So, but there was some shenanigans involved. You know, the stuff, Buddy going after Okada because that's a title match for Grand Slam. So it made sense. Okada was playing mind games with him by making him think he was going to come out there, and that caused a distraction that led to them losing. I'm okay with that, but it's obvious that they're very over. So give them some more wins. It's like let them be the ones to take down the Hurt Syndicate, take the tag titles from them, please.
Yes.
Because I mean, come on, Brody versus Bobby Lashley.
Yeah,
that's big meaning and slapping meat, motherfucker.
Yeah. What was it? I mean, GIF also said that the Collision was a fun show too. I didn't know.
Well, yeah. Well, it's like I completely
we had the Rumble to watch. Sorry,
Rumble's on. It's like
But yeah. Where's your daddy? I forget that.
Also, the other thing that's going to hurt them is that NXT Vengeance Day is going to be on earlier in the evening. Next Saturday on the 15th. So it's like
gotcha. The crowd chanting "Cope." I still can't get behind that name.
Yeah, it's like.
Can't really do it. But no, like I said, overall, I thought it was like a really solid show.
No, this was a very solid show.
Now, can they do it 2 times in a row? That's the problem.
The thing. It's like, can they keep it's like, we'll see how things are next week. It's like,
is Tony gonna do too much skiing and forget what he did the week before?
Right.
On that. There was something. A lot.
This is something I never see. I hate to say this, but I kind of enjoyed Dynamite more than NXT this week, and I don't use that's not something I normally say because we're gonna get to it.
What is going on with you? Hold on, what is going on with you?
I don't know.
NXT segment. I'm
not saying that NXT was bad. There was just some weird. There's some weird stuff going on that was kind of like. We'll get into more. It's like that. There was like some stuff I liked and other stuff I'm like, Not saying NXT was a bad show, but it's like it's not by much. I'm not saying it was like light years better than NXT, but it's like, I mean, NXT wasn't like a solid solid hit like it normally is. At least that's what I thought. But yeah, that's.
Well, I'll one quick nugget I forgot to mention on the notes. Elias is with the Righteous now, so I guess he's signed to AEW.
I guess so. That's what I heard. He's on ROH.
Yep. So, all right. Well, let's move on to a show that wasn't as good as Dynamite, which is a rare breed for Justin. We're after this, we might have to get a medical checkup on Justin just to make sure his head's right. Did you hit your head since the Royal Rumble? Okay, just want to make just making sure. Okay, just all right. Here we go, NXT.
All right, here's a recap what happened on this week's episode of NXT. Fallout from the Rumble, and we're on the road to NXT Vengeance Day in 2 weeks. We open with Stephanie Becker taking on Jacy Jayne of Fatal Influence. Despite shenanigans, Fatal Influence, Stephanie Becker picked up the victory, and her and Fallon Henley had a stare down after the match ahead of their Women's North American title match at Vengeance Day. So Rook and Zarya got into it with Legends and Shakira Jackson back, along with Gigi Dolan and Tam Paxley. That led to a tag match between Gigi Tatum versus Zarya and Sol Ruka later in the show. Throughout the show, they went over NXT women's talent work in the Rumble. They spotlighted Roxanne's Iron Woman performance, setting the longevity record for longest time women's Rumble match. Then Lexis King came out and cut a promo about the Heritage Cup, basically confirming that he had only pretending to be going babyface when it was all an act in order to win the Heritage Cup. He thanked William Regal for trying to reach out to him, show him the light. He also announced that the rules for the Heritage Cup changed. The British rounds format is over with. The only way to win the cup from him is standard one fall. Then shockingly out of nowhere, Fandango, aka JDC from TNA, came out to his own music. He said he's here from TNA representing the system and challenged Lex King to a Heritage Cup match, and that match would take place next week. Then we had Stax taking on Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland picked up the victory. Fraxian was talking about facing the Nemeth brothers on Impact this week, but Josh Briggs and Inamura came out and interrupt saying they want their title shot. They said to go win some matches and prove that they deserve a shot, and so they said they would. Then we had Zarya and Sol Ruka taking on Gigi Dolan and Paxley in a tag match. Zarya and Sol Ruka picking up the victory. Then we had a summit in the ring between the participants in the NXT Women's Championship match. First, we had Bayley and Roxanne going back and forth at it. And then Julia came out to respond. And after she talked for a bit, Charlotte Flair showed up, commenting on all three women, teasing maybe challenging Julia for the NXT Women's Championship with her Royal Rumble win. While she was talking to them, Cora Jade came in and sneak attacked Julia and Bayley. She also then went after Roxanne because Roxanne had been dissing her earlier. And she held up the title belt, stood tall. Ava was talking with both Ethan Page and Javon Evans in the back. She wanted to suspend Javon for his recent actions, but Ethan Page said, no, give him them a match at Vengeance Day to settle things if Javon can get cleared to compete, and she agreed. Ridge Holland confronted Tony in the back, and Izzy James suggested maybe that they sell things in a cage match. Tony D liked that idea and agreed to that with the title on the line next week. They made Kalani Jordan and Carmen Petrovic taking on each other after they ran afoul each other last week. Jake Berger came out and joined the commentary desk to watch the match. Kalani picked up the victory via submission. She kept attacking Carmen Petrovic after the match to the point where the decision was overturned and Carmen Petrovic was awarded the win by disqualification. Briggs and Inamura talked to both No Credit Catch crew and Hank and Tank, and to the mishap. They're going to face them in a 3-way match. And Axiom said if they win that match, they'll get a title shot against them. Then Bailey came in saying that she wanted Roxanne, Cora Jade in a one-on-one match next week, and Ava made it happen. Then we had our main event, A-Town Down Under taking on Oba Femi Trick Williams in a tag match. Eddie Thorpe returned, distracting and attacking Trick Williams with a strap. That allowed A-Town Down Under to pin him and pick up the victory. Eddie continued to attack Trick with a strap after the match. Oba Femi decided not to get involved. Then we got another teaser at the end, just like last week, but this time we see silhouettes of 4 people, so it looks like a tease of a new faction coming to NXT was shown. So that's all that happened on this week's episode of NXT. Okay, you know what? After going listen to my recap,
No.
I was mistaken.
Nope. This show
it's a little more close than usual. It's like, okay. So let me go to you then. What are your overall feelings about this episode this week at NXT?
It was fine. I like how they're still pushing.
Yeah, it was fine.
I like how they're building Eddie Thorpe to make him actually like mean something. Unlike Rich Holland, who is bland as shit. So they actually have sold me on Eddie Thorpe. Obviously, the biggest one, other than Roxanne just being Roxanne, and getting that Cora stuff that I've been wanting.
Yeah, well, I was looking forward to talk to you about the Roxanne Cora stuff because we're heading toward the blowout.
Right. So that was good. I didn't shit. There was something I just totally lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the Heritage Cup finally going to just I like the cup itself. Just the match structure is way too convoluted and bullshit.
Yes. This is cool. I like that it's a very heelish move. I like that Plexus was basically like I had a feeling this is where it was going. That he was only pretending to go babyface. It's like it was all an act. So it's like I'm sure Regal was smiling somewhere backstage, like yes, you were paid. Yes, you did well, son.
Yeah.
Fandango showing up was like I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. But hey, it's it's like the crossover. It's like I heard
that's someone pointed that out. Like
I saw an interview. He said that he NXT has a special place in his heart. So I'm sure he was like. He probably requested to come back and do this little bit of crossover. So
are we gonna get a Fraxian versus Breezango match?
Don't tempt me, dude. Don't tempt me.
Just saying.
Don't put that out there.
I'm putting it out there. You can take it if you want it, but I'm putting it out there. We could get that. I was thrown off of the fact it was like we haven't seen Sol Roca and Zara forever. By the way, they're in tag match.
I heard one of the other of them was injured. That's why I think that they haven't been doing much lately.
Okay.
I'm wondering where this tag thing is going. It's like, are they building them up to be like a tag challengers for Bianca Naomi?
I don't know. I mean, I don't mind Zarya and Sol Roca together.
I'm just glad they got a win. I felt bad it was at the expense of Gigi and Tatum Paxton.
Yeah, because I was like, I like the momentum Chemical X is on.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Zarya and Sol Roca were long overdue for a W. So I'm willing to give it some time to see where this goes. It's like obviously they're this is leaning towards something for them. So it's like, and we're both fans of both of them. So it's like, it's like hopefully this is going to lead to better things. Stephanie and JC Jane had a great opening match. That was good stuff. Stephanie McCurr, she's so good, man.
She's better than Julia right now as far as the style.
Oh, I get that. It's like, but I like that. Well, both her and Julia are definitely really getting over with like the fans, and it's like because like they're treating Julia pretty well at this point. It's like they're getting to know her, and So, but yeah, it's like, sorry, Fallon. It's like you're losing that title at Vegas Day. It's time to crown her. Which I'm fine with, because that at least gives Stephanie a title until, because they're obviously, I think they're going to save Julia versus Stephanie for a little bit later. I don't think they're going to do that at this Stand and Deliver. I think they're going to probably either do it later in the year. They're going to save it because they can do a slow build to that. Let both of them have good title runs with both of the top 2 singles titles, and then you can go.
Here's my question, because of where it's going. Who do you have Julia face at Stand and Deliver? Because we're probably going to get Cora and Roxanne as a blow off, and then Roxanne goes to the main roster.
Maybe that's where Jordan comes in.
That's true. You could have that. Okay, because that makes sense
because Julia eliminated Jordan from the Rumble, so that could lead to something. We'll see.
Could.
You have a good point, because it's very obvious that they're building toward Cora and Roxanne having a one-on-one blow-off match before she goes to the main roster. It's like I love that's been so like man, like when Roxanne was like, well, after I leave, maybe Cora can finally win a singles title. I was like, oh damn! I was like, do you not realize what you just did?
Yeah, but I did see something.
Did you see their exchange on Twitter, on X, where it's like I want your stuff out of here, and Roxanne's like, no, we can fix this. Roxanne,
right?
Roxanne, do you not realize what you have done?
You're right.
When you said that I was like, oh yeah, no, we're heading toward Cora Roxanne when she said that. It's like Cora's not gonna let that slam slide.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that when she came out, Roxanne was like, no, we're okay, cool, right? And she's like, no, we're not. And she went for her. It's like,
right. And then Roxanne's like, what did I do? She's had that. But she did say, hold on, real quick. Yeah. I did see on just on Twitter, because obviously TNA is going on right now. Cora was doing commentary during the Royale, and she mentioned, like, well, maybe I have to bring Roxanne with me like next time. So she did tease about her and Roxanne showing up together, which I'm like, again, guys, quit. No, don't do this. Don't do one story on one show, another story on another.
I was going to mention that near the end, because that happened just before we went on the air. It's like, because she was on commentary for a number 1 contender battle royal to determine a challenger for Slamovich on next week's show. Which is very interesting, because they're like, why aren't you in it? And she's like, I don't need to be in a battle royal. It's like, you just give me the title match.
Right.
It's like, which was ironically the same attitude that Tessa Blanchard had. Tessa Blanchard's like, well, I'm not going to go into a battle royal where everyone's going to be coming after me. It's like, I'm not. So it's like, because I was like, okay, is Tessa going to be? It's like Tessa took herself out of the battle royal because she was like, no, I'm not playing that game. I'm going to eventually get my title shot. But anyway, so Slamovich has got a lot of problems. Like Tessa's working her way toward her, and then Cora Jade is trying to weasel her way toward getting a title shot. So she's got a lot of challengers lined up for her. So it was pretty funny. Cora was very chill on commentary. You should check out some of the highlights. It's like, I think it's
gotcha.
What I'm liking is that this plays into Ruckus' character, where it's like her arrogance is finally starting to be her undoing. It's right. It's like she's speaking before she thinks. It's like, and she's letting like how she really feels about Cora leak out. Where like that, no, I'm better than her. It's like, instead of treating her like her friend, she's treating her like a lackey. That she's not as good as her, and so it's like, well, you're digging your own grave, Roxanne. Like,
oh no, I am enjoying the storytelling, because it's like I thought it out before.
This is what you were hoping for, is like that they'd revisit Roxanne versus Cora, and I'm liking that it's the last time it was when Cora went heel and turned on Roxanne, it was about Cora being jealous of Roxanne. This time, it's the opposite, where Roxanne is being arrogant and disrespectful, and that's causing Cora to turn on her again. It's a complete flip-flop, where last time it wasn't justified. Now, actually, you don't blame Cora Jade for being all pissed off at Roxanne.
No,
it's like,
no, you don't. No, you do not. Which brings me to a question before, unless you want to keep going on this segment.
There's another. My only issue with that whole segment was that it felt like Julia was kind of like it's like this is supposed to be about this title match, but it felt like it was more about Charlotte and then also Roxanne Cora and also Roxanne Bailey and like Julia. It's kind of, which I get because it's like they need to give her a title match, but it's obviously that there's so much stuff going on between Roxanne and Bailey and Roxanne and Cora that Julia's not losing. Like, you're not worried about Julia losing title. It's more about those storylines than about Jim. So I feel like she's taking a little back seat, which is it's like, but so hopefully after this Vengeance Day title match is over with, she can have a proper like this is about me and you kind of like challenger, which that was my only complaint. It's like, but I did like that at least like Charlotte was like giving people props before like saying, but I'm better. It's like, instead of saying you suck, like actually you are really cool, but I'm just better. It's like that fits her character.
Yeah, like, that does fit. One thing I'm worried about right now. I
almost forgot Bailey's line about I forgot my favorite line of the whole thing when Bailey is like if I lose this title match, I'll be okay. I can be able to move on. Roxanne, what are you without the title? It's like, and she didn't have a good answer for that. It's like that's where Bailey's trying to get through to her. It's like you're it's like it's not always all about the title. It's like, yeah, the title is important, but it's like if that's your whole thing, you're missing the big picture.
Yeah.
She's like she's trying to like wake up and smell the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love that line where she said that. It's like, what are you without the title? You know, it's like I was like, yes. So I'm loving I love the back and forth between her and Bailey. That was great stuff. If this I'm really hoping this leads to them having a Mania match. You don't need to no. If she's on the main roster, don't do this don't make this a stand and deliver match. Make Roxanne and Bailey a Mania match. Please. That would be awesome.
Main event. I'm sorry, Jay. I'm sorry, Cody. I'm sorry. You got to play second fiddle. The Golden Goose, the Prodigy.
Because I don't think the thing between her and like it feels like Roxanne's going to have two problems going forward after this title match. Is the stuff between her and Bailey I don't think is going to end, and then now her and Cora are heading toward Splitsville. Yeah. So it's like because that's the thing is like maybe they do Cora Roxanne at Stand and Deliver. Like, would you be okay if she did double duty? Like she faces like Cora at like Stand and Deliver and then faces Bailey at WrestleMania?
No, I think we're gonna do something with Bailey at WrestleMania that's not Roxanne oriented. I think we're gonna get Cora. I'm like I saying Cora, like I've been booking for the past 4 months. We're getting Cora and Roxanne at Stand and Deliver. Cora's gonna go over. Roxanne goes to Raw and then keeps going with. And probably does something at WrestleMania to screw Bailey out of whatever the heck she's doing.
Right.
And then we continue that feud on Raw.
Yeah. No, I like it.
Yeah. And the one thing I'm worried about, not this segment.
Okay.
But the one person I'm worried about right now is because I feel like she's in limbo is Kalani Jordan.
Mm-hmm. But I will say
they're still behind her, but I feel like she's plateaued or in limbo of where she's supposed to go now. I know it's her and Jada. I get that.
Yeah. my other concern, this feels more like a repeat of the feud that she just had with Lola Vice, but now replaced Lola with Kalani.
That's what I'm saying. She's in limbo of booking.
But I like the heel turn stuff that she did this week.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. It's like we need more of that. And plus, she's adding new moves into her repertoire with this heel turn, and she's looking better. That was one of her better matches in a while. That the ones that she had with Carmen this week, I love that she's put the angle slam, the Olympic slam, into her arsenal. She does it really good. It's like
I'm not worried about Kalani's in ring work,
and then the submission work with the submission finisher. So I share your concern, but I'm liking what the heel turn is doing for her character wise. Okay. But yeah, I am worried about that. It's like where this feud with the Jada is going to go. It's like, now they could build Kalani up to be a challenger for Julia. That's the way it's going, or Stephanie.
I'd rather see her and Stephanie right now.
I think that would probably that would probably work
because she's still in that mid card level, even though she's flirting with the.
And plus, she was like, she'd be like, "I want to get my title back," because it's like, it's like, so that would be a good first challenger for Stephanie when she becomes champion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't see it. It would be like a weird booking shocker if she doesn't beat Fallon Henley for the title. It's like she's on the rise, man. It's like she's so smooth in the ring. The fans dig her, and even though her Julia's English is a lot more solid than hers right now, but I like the intensity that Stephanie has in like her promos, where it's just like I'm coming for you and I'm going to destroy you. It's like the vibe you get from her.
Yeah,
it's like I like that.
No, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. All right, man.
I just love the NXT Women's Division. It's like, there's a lot of cool stuff that's on the horizon. Even with Roxanne leaving, I mean, Cora's still going to be there. I think we'll see if they can finally build her up to where it's like she can like be like NXT champion. We'll see. But
once I see her in against Bailey next week, that's when I'll see. I just want to be like, okay, she can do that.
Bailey's gonna have a rough week because do you think Bailey? It would be weird to see Bailey beat Lyra to get in the chamber. Unless Ivy Nile does something to cost her a match. We'll see. But I forgot. One of the other favorite lines of this night was when Bailey went into Ava. And it's like, I want that bitch in a match next week. And Ava goes, which one?
Right. Right. Well,
also, they said they opened the door for the Fatal 4-Way where she's like, I don't even care if you put her into the title match at Wednesday. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Cora's going to beat her next week, and then she can use that to say, Ava. Because she's all pissed that she isn't in the title match.
Right.
So, if she beats Bailey next week, that will be the perfect opening to make it a Fatal 4-Way. And then then I'll be like, oh, yeah. Because it was a little odd having two triple threat matches on the same show. Because you already got Oba defending against A-Town Down Under in a triple threat. So it's like, and I was wondering if they're going to throw Trick in there, but it's obvious him and Eddie Thorpe are going to have like a strap match at Vengeance Day after how he did with the strap. So that's going to be your fourth match because we already got the 3 title matches. It's like Oba Femi's in a triple threat against A-Town Down Under. It's currently a triple threat for now, but how do you think they're going to throw Cora in there and make it a Fatal 4-Way after next week?
I don't know because I don't know. I want to see more Steves.
I don't know if it'll happen, but it's possible.
Yeah, it is. Speaking about four,
if she's not, she's going to cost Roxanne the match.
Yeah, no, if she's going to, I think we're going more. I just want to go down the Roxanne Cora feud.
Blow off.
And speaking about 4, I know we talked about at the beginning of the show. You made a note of it. Who are the 4 silhouettes that we saw at the end of it? Because we're already make it quick because we're already at 2 hours and 20 minutes.
So from detective work some people have done online, apparently they think the 4 silhouettes are some young up and coming NXT talent. Dion Lennox, Cutler James, Saquon Sugars, and Keanu Carver. I think for what Dion has appeared on NXT before briefly, but hasn't really been featured like that much. So, like this whole I was like, what is up with that? But now with that, and then seeing that there's 4, at first I was like, is this why it's 6? What's
right?
And then I look closer, I'm like, no, that's not the why it's 6. So basically, they're foreshadowing like a new faction forming in NXT, and you know what? That's something that the men's division like could really use at this point.
Yeah.
Because right now it's at its weakest, and like if Trick is going to be leaving after by Mania time, it's like outside of Wes Lee, and Tony D, there's not many other like viable challengers for either the NXT or the North American title scene, so they need some fresh blood. So, very interested to see how they're presented because they're definitely hinting that they're gonna make they're a big splash at Vengeance Day. So,
hope so.
It's like I'm trying to do some digging if I have the time and like look up more info about these guys so to see what we can expect. But either way, NXT Women's Division is the best. Love, Julia, Cora, Roxanne, Zarya. So much talent, so much people, so much ladies I enjoy watching work.
It's only give it. You got till about April to have Roxanne, and after that, she's going to be a main roster.
Yeah, and she's going to kill it.
She's going to kill it. So, all right, man. Well, that is wrap it up for us this week. Thank you all so much for joining us. Giff, Tushka, Brennan, everyone in the comments section. Thank you so much for joining us there. Thank you, everyone who joined us for the watch along this past Saturday. It was great fun.
Yeah,
we are looking to do it again. We don't know when. We'll figure that out as we go along. And then all of our other shows. Tomorrow night will be the first episode of our book club show. We'll be reading. We are going to go over Tuesdays with Maury. So join us over there for that. Anyone that wants to be part of those type of things, Discord, Patreon down below. Join us over there. We'd love to have you all over on our Discord as we talk wrestling all the time, much less any other things. Monday will be obviously the day after the Super Bowl, so we will go over our bracket bitches and let you know who won. It's not me. It's probably going to, I think Ryan already took away with it, but we still recap the Super Bowl and everything. It's probably going to just be Tushka and me pissed off because the Chiefs won again. Tushka's going to be happy. I'm going to be pissed because it's just underwhelming. And then on Wednesday, you have Game Dudes going over Divinity. We might start doing Ravens Watch. We might keep going with Divinity. Don't know, but join us for that. And then following our Rev Sports Wrap It Up, where we go over everything in the world of sports or the week that was. And then you have Justin and I on Thursdays, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern, wrapping up everything in the world of wrestling. So on behalf of Justin and I, Justin, always a pleasure, sir. Can't wait to do it again next week. And we will see you all next time. Peace.